So the question being asked is, I want to see God with my own eyes. Okay. With my gross eyes, I want to see God. The answer is, yes, you are seeing God. Straightforward, straight away. When you see the world, entire universe, it's called Virat. The Virat is the manifestation of God. The entire cosmos is the gross form of God, gross form of Ishvara. There are three levels Ishvara manifests, or universal consciousness manifests. In gross form, it's called Virat. In the subtle form, it's called Hiranyagarbha. In the causal form, it's called Ishvara. There are three forms of manifestation: the gross, subtle, and causal. With your gross eyes, you can see the gross form of Ishvara. And with subtle eyes, you can see subtle form of Ishvara or Hiranyagarbha. With the causal eyes, means sharpened buddhi, you can get the causal form of Ishvara, causal form of universal consciousness, Ishvara. Karana Rupa. Adnana, when avidya goes, the ignorance goes, then he experiences the causal form of God, Ishvara, universal form. So the three dimensions, three levels of realization: the causal, the subtle, and the gross. In deep sleep, you are experiencing causal form of God, Ishvara. In the waking state, you are experiencing Virat or gross form of Ishvara. In the dream world, you are experiencing Hiranyagarbha or subtle form of Ishvara. So you are seeing God in all the states. In the waking state, you see Ishvara, the Virat. In the dream, you see Hiranyagarbha, and deep sleep see you Ishvara. But this is not called realization. This is a common states: waking state, dream state, deep state. Everybody sees this. In the waking state, everybody sees a gross world. In a dream state, everybody sees a dream world. And deep sleep, everybody sees a causal world. Realization of God is different from seeing God. Right now, you are seeing God, but you are not realizing God. You are not realizing the Virat is the form of God. You are not realizing. Similarly, dream world, you are not seeing as the Hiranyagarbha is a form of God. And the causal world, you are not realizing as it's a form of Ishvara, God. Everybody goes to waking state, dream state, deep sleep state. In all this, in waking state, dream state, deep sleep state, you are seeing God. You are experiencing God. But we don't know. This is where realization makes a difference. Understand? So, what is the difference between realization and seeing? This realization is called darshana. Means what you see, you start becoming a part of that, or it becomes one with that. Darshana means seeing is being. You become one with the seeing. Otherwise, if you see the sun, you are separate from the sun. If you see the moon, you are separate from the moon. In the waking state, you are seeing the sun, you are seeing the moon, you are seeing the tree, but you are separate from them. There's a sense of separation there. Understand? In this sense of separation, the world appears as material world. When the sense of separation goes, then it's called darshana. You become one with the scene. You can become 100% one with the scene, or you become partially one with the scene. So when you go to the temple, we say, I've had a darshan of God. People think that seeing a sculpture, a statue standing there, is called darshan of God. It's not. Let us say we have a deity in the temple. Okay. Let us give the example of one deity of, say, a Devi in the temple. And I go and have darshan and say, I'm happy, I'm purified. But the same deity, same statue is kept in the museum. What is the difference? In museum, you will not say, I'm Darshan. I saw the deity. I saw the Vigraha form. Okay. So the difference here, in the deity in the temple, a prana pratishtapana is done. The deity in the temple, so deity in the temple, we go there because deity is not a piece of stone. It's not a piece of sculpting. The deity in the temple, we say, is conscious being. And when I go and meet a conscious being, okay, it's not meeting a sculpture in a museum. Sculpture in a museum is a piece of art. A deity in the temple is a divinity. It's living. That's called Devata. Why do we go and see the deity in the temple? The deity in temple, our sculptors do a lot of sadhana before they sculpt the deity. How do they do? They meditate. The real traditional sculptors meditate. And a form of the deity appears to them. It's not they imagine a deity. Whether Shiva, Lakshmi, or Saraswati, a real sculptor has to be meditative to see the divine form where he has put into stone. So what he sees in meditation, he sculpts in the stone. He doesn't imagine and put in stone. He imagines human creation. Okay, what he does is the vision of the deity into the stone. The deity has a bhava in the deity has a bhava. Bhava means feeling. Okay. So now when you go to the deity with bhava, with the feeling, the bhava of the deity reflects in you. So now there's no two separate entities called deity and devotee. The deity bhava starts reflecting within devotee. Some change happens in you. Little bit change happens in you. Okay. So little bit transformation is happening in you. Little bit inner change is happening in you. This is called darshan. By seeing a deity, inner changes have started happening in you. Now, seer and seen are not two different. Seer and seen have become one small in a way. So seeing is being means that. So suppose I see something. Let's say I see this cup of glass. I do not become cup of glass. Seeing is not being. But when you see the deity, a bhava of the deity gets transferred to you. For example, the deity is very meditative. So the person who sees the deity, the meditativeness gets transferred there. So seeing becomes being. If seeing has become not being, then you have gone to a museum to see a sculpture. Is darshana word clear? So waking state, dream state, deep sleep state is seeing. I see sun, I see moon, but I'm still separate from them. The sense of separation is there. It's not reality. The ego is there. But the same seeing, a gross word is called Virat. Now for Arjuna, it becomes Virat Rupa Darshana. It is not Virat Rupa Vikshana. Vikshana means seeing. In Vikshana, seer and seen are different. In Darshana, seer and seen become one. In some way. Vikshana means seeing. Vikshana means seeing. So for example, I am looking at this. It's called Vikshana glass. But I'm not having darshan of the glass. If I have darshan of the glass, I get some of the qualities of the glass reflects in me. So in deity, it's not a Vikshana. Okay, in the darshana, the qualities of deity gets transferred to you. There's a reason for that also. So all of us in the forehead area, in this area, there are some special nerves called mirror neurons. The mirror neurons, they pick up the bhava of the deity and starts creating our nervous system. That's called darshana. So, for example, if you sit in front of a person who is depressed, you start feeling a little bit of depression in you. You copy it. And of course, we have seen this. Somebody starts yawning. All people start yawning. Because our nervous system copies the bhava. Okay. So the purpose of temple is create a divine bhava in the people who come there. Divine bhava in devotees. That's called darshana. So Arjuna sees the world. Arjuna also sees the world, and you also see the world. This is called Vichara, seeing. But Sri Krishna gave Arjuna Divya Drishti for Darshana. It's called Vishwarupa Darshana. The entire universe appears not as dead matter, but as a living being called Brahman, Saguna Brahma. Living is not dead matter. So this is called Vishwarupa Darshana. Others, what you are saying is Vishwarupa Vikshana. Where is the gap? The gap is the ego is subtle form chained to see that. So the ego has a strong sense of separation. I am seeing sun, I and sun are separate. Then it becomes Vikshana. I am connected to sun in some way, becomes Darshana. So then everything seems to be alive, living, and I seem to be part of the whole. That's called Saguna Brahma Darshana or Vishwarupa Darshana. Vishwa is no longer dead matter, it's a living conscious being called Saguna Brahma. It's called Vishwarupa Darshana. So Darshana and Vikshana difference you understood? Seeing and Darshana. Seeing and being is called Darshana. In that oneness is there in some way. And this oneness you can understand. Somebody is joyful, happy in the room. Seeing that person, we also get some joy infused into us. Seeing becomes being. When people go to any child, even a person who is very, very grumpy face, he starts relaxing because darshan is happening. An aspect of the child is getting into him. So did you understand darshana? When people go to the temple, some of them, there'll be tears, some of them cry, some of them pray. Many things happen. So the deity in the temple is affecting them in some way. The same deity standing in a museum will not affect them. The same deity in the temple affects because the temple is designed for certain energy pattern. Our temples are designed for cosmic energy in certain way. The Gopuram, the Garbhagraha, and the deity, and deity with Prana Pratishtapana, everything is a cosmic energy pattern designed for affecting the person who come there. They are not just pieces of architecture. So what happens is energy pattern affects him. That's why they cry or the emotional thing comes out. So now seeing is not just seeing. It's not Vikshana. It becomes some way. Yeah, Darshana means the seeing as affecting seer in some way. A part of the deity or an aspect of the deity has come into you in whatever way. That's why you're getting affected emotionally. Okay. How good is that is different matter, but it does affect. That's called darshana. So if you are going to temple and looking at, oh, this is a nice sweet Vigraha. So some people go to the temple. Oh, I went to the temple. Such a nice thing. What did you see? See, the deity has one diamond in this head. Okay. I heard that it's very, very expensive. So he has not have a darshan. He went there as jewelry shopping. Understand? So people go with different. Ultimately, with what bhava you go, you get something. When your bhava inside you resonates with the bhava of the deity, then it's called darshana. Seeing is called being. It is not that, for example, you go to Shiva temple, you start feeling serenity. If you go to a Lakshmi temple, you start feeling somewhere the wealth. Okay. So like that, each temple has certain energy and vibration. A part of that goes into you. That's called darshana. So darshana and Vikshana I understood. Then I want to see God. The whole problem of life is you cannot escape God. Everywhere God is there. Brahma okkate, Parabrahma okkate, everywhere God is there. But I'm not able to see it because my ego is blocking it. Ego, the purpose of ego is to separate out seer and seen. Okay. A ego gets purified, the same scene, what you're seeing, becomes divine. So Rabindranath Tagore wanted to compose a poetry and he had a boat. He was sitting in the lamp there. It's night. And a small lamp was there in front of him for writing. He was not getting inspiration. Okay. Suddenly a wind blew and the lamp got blown off. Then he sees outside the stars, planets. The entire sky appears to be divine to him. And what was blocking that divine? One lamp. The lamp light. We are focused on the lamp light writing. And he forgot the entire beauty of the nature. Just a small lamp. Like a small ego stops us from seeing the divinity everywhere. It's like I can see the world, but my two fingers can block the entire world. The small ego, very tiny, it blocks seeing the divinity in front of you, around you, everywhere, inside and outside you. In the waking state, dream state, deep sleep state. In the waking state, it's called Virat. In dream state, it's called Hiranyagarbha. In deep sleep, it's called Ishvara. What is blocking? The sense of separation created by ego. The Arjuna's ego, which has got purified, not transcended, he saw the Virat, the gross form, with his own eyes. He started feeling the presence of consciousness. It became Virat Rupa Darshana. But the problem is his ego not fully gone. In Virat, what happened? There's a good is there, bad is there. Devas are there, Asuras are there. It's like duality is there. In universe, you cannot say, I want to see only mountain, I can't see valley. You have to see both. Arjuna got terrified because people are getting born, people are dying. He had ego. Momentarily, he got a purified ego because of divine grace. But he was not able to withstand. The ego vasanas come up. Oh, he saw the people dying. He was scared. He said, please withdraw this form. I can't see it. Okay, to Krishna. His ego was there. And again, he goes back and sees Krishna's form. So what happens? For Virat Rupa Darshana, your ego has to be purified. There should be some equanimity in life, good and bad. The evil and divinity, you should be able to see. Then Raga Desha has to come down. Then you can see the divinity present in every aspect of creation. Everywhere. Asuras also operate through the divine Shakti only. Demons also operate through divine Shakti only. That you start seeing. This is called Virat Rupa Darshana. If you don't see, we don't have that, you don't feel that connectedness, then it's a Virat Rupa Vikshana. See. Okay. So your question was, how can I see God with my own eyes, with gross eyes? You can see. But the problem here, our gross eyes are called Charma Chakshu. Charma Chakshu means made out of, Charma means leather. Okay. It is made out of muscles and leather, skin. Charma Chakshu. Charma Chakshu is not this here. With the same gross eyes, when you see the world, your subtle eyes are improved, subtle eyes are changed. It's called Antardrashti has changed. Then you can see God in the universe. Then seeing the God universe as God is called Vishwarupa Darshana. You don't see God in the universe. Universe becomes consciousness, especially conscious and living. It's called Saguna Brahma Darshan. Now, we'll come to Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was doing puja at the Kali temple. And when you do puja, you have to invoke Mother Kali into the Vigraha for Naivedyam. And when he invokes the Kali with the eyes open or eyes closed, he starts feeling the divinity in the Vigraha. That's because his ego is getting purified because of all puja he done. So then the same stone Vigraha, he feels it's alive, is breathing. Breathing also. It's a feeling of inner feeling. And when he offers the food, Divine Mother is taking the food. So now we offer Naivedyam to God. Right? And we are 100% sure that God will not eat it. That's why we make 10 laddus and we have already distributed 5 laddus for me, 5 laddus for others. Because God doesn't eat. That's our feeling. But God receiving Naivedyam is very different. In scriptures written, the God receives Naivedya by seeing. You know why? When I see something, I'm separate from it. When God sees something, he is also one with that. If the divine sees laddu, his one laddu is one with him already. It's already become a part of him. For God, there's no separation in seeing. For you, there's a separation in seeing. That's why laddu, if you see, you don't eat. It's not eating. For God, seeing the laddu is eating the laddu because it's become one with that already. So Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says, when he offers Naivedyam to Kali, he feels a divine light is coming from the eyes of the mother, touching the Naivedyam. Then he says, Mother has eaten the Naivedyam. But we have a concept that Ramakrishna Paramahamsa offered Naivedyam, Kali comes and eats. We think that there are 5 laddus and 1 laddu disappears. That's not how it happens. In the vision, inner vision of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, a divine light comes and touches the laddu. So if you understand this, when you offer to Naivedya to deity, you will also experience it. Because you are experiencing your wrong experience. When I offer Naivedyam, God will not eat. Laddu will not have nothing. Laddu doesn't disappear. God doesn't eat like what you eat. God eats by becoming one with that, seeing. So tomorrow when you offer Naivedyam to God, understand with this understanding, a divine light comes and eats the laddu. You start, the Naivedyam becomes a real offering to God. Have you done with this bhava anytime? Okay. Do it. Then Naivedyam, what you offer to God. And also you'll know. Sometimes the light doesn't come. God has not accepted the Naivedyam. Also you'll know. Because whatever reason. Because when you cook the food, you didn't cook it devotion. The God may not accept it also. Understand? When you do prepare the food as an offering to God with full of devotion and offer to God, and in your inner vision, a light will come and touch that everything. Sometimes it doesn't touch, means your cooking process, somewhere something was missing. Not that salt or pepper, devotion was missing. Understand? So this is the meaning of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa when he offered food to mother, mother took the food. Because we have a concept that mother will come and say, take a laddu and eat. It's not like that. A light appears to have come from mother and inner vision of Ramakrishna. This inner vision is called Antardrashti. Intuitive vision. Okay. In the same intuitive vision, the divine and devotee interaction happens in a subtle world. It's called Hiranyagarbha Loka. Charma Chakshu is not chained, but Antar Chakshu, inner eyes have opened. So when Charma Chakshu sees the Virat Rupa, Antar Chakshu opens, then Virat Rupa becomes Virat Rupa Darshana. Okay, otherwise it's Virat Rupa Vikshana, ego. When the ego is purified, Virat Rupa becomes Virat Rupa Darshana. Okay. Now, still ego is there because the Adnana is there. Still there is a separation, but it's a transformed separation. Darshana. And the ego drops, or ego is transcended in the internal this thing, inner this thing. Adnana has gone. Then it is called Gnana Chakshu has opened. First is Charma Chakshu. The second is Antar Chakshu. That is Gnana Chakshu. In realization, Gnana Chakshu has opened. In the realization, Sarvam Khalu Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi realization happens. Charma Chakshu is gross eyes, which is a gross eyes. And you see only gross world, but you don't see that oneness. When Antar Chakshu has opened, in a subtle vision, with eyes open or eyes closed, subtle vision, you start feeling you are interacting with God. You are connected to God. It's not a stage, it's not a statue. With Charma Chakshu, it appears like a statue. But deep inside, you know, there's a living being, I'm interacting with a living being. That's what happened in temple, darshan. Then still ego is there because Adnana has not gone. If Adnana goes, then it's called Gnana Chakshu. With Gnana Chakshu, you can see Sarvam Khalida Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi. Then there's no fallback. So, are we clear the meaning of darshana? So you said, you started the question, I want to see God with my eyes. I'm saying, you are seeing God with your eyes only. Huh? No, I've said, no. That is the next question. Okay. So, is this clear to you? This much. I gave the difference between darshana and Vichara. I said Virat Rupa Darshana and Anta Darshana and Gnana, Atma Gnana, which is called Gnana Chakshu. So I will conclude. I want to see God. Okay, I want to have realization. The Vedanta teaching is not to run away from the world. Vedanta teaching is to understand there's no place to run away from Brahman. Everything is Brahman. And only ego was a block, small block, which was preventing us from seeing the Brahman everywhere. I get example also. The Rabindranath Tagore had a small lamp. He was not seeing the beauty of the outside. The lamp blew. A lamp was blown out because of wind. Then he saw entire thing as divine beauty. That's why the poetry called Gitanjali was born there. The Gitanjali became Nobel Prize winning poetry. When just a small lamp blew out. And small ego can block us entire divinity from the seeing. Is it clear? Any questions for people on Zoom?
Our life without Gnana, no, Guruji.
Ego is so small now. 2 little fingers can close your eyes and you can't see the world now. It doesn't even require hand to close your eyes, no. Huh? Any questions, Ashwini, Anupama, Kamala?
Guruji, as Viveka grows, the ego will obviously drop, clears.
Yeah. So there's a Gnana Chakshu. That's opening of Gnana Chakshu. There are 3 visions. Antar Chakshu opening is a subtle vision where you become aware of the Hiranyagarbha Loka, subtle world. Gnana Chakshu opening, we become aware of the causal world. Adnana goes. Subtle Adnana goes. Or the Avidya goes. So is it clear to all? Ashwin, any questions? Kamala? And who else is there?
No, Guruji.
Okay.
Guruji, is there an order of this is first, this is second, this is third, like that?
Right now, don't worry. Order. Just understand what I'm saying. Okay. Everybody it happens in different ways. There are, if 8 billion people are there, 8 billion ways it happens.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Ashwini.
Guruji, if we say that God is only working through me, God is only seeing through me, then God is only eating through me also.
Yes, sir. Of course it's. That's why you say Brahma Arpanam Brahmavi. When you eat food, you are offering food to God inside you as Brahmagni, Brahmanahutam, Brahmayoti, this Udaragni, the inner fire in you is God. And food is God, Ganna Brahma. Where are you here? Here there is ego. I am separate from all this. Small little ego, tiny little ego. Tiny little ego can cover the universe and God from you. Is it clear, Ashwini? Hmm? When you eat food, who digests the food? When you eat food, who creates saliva in your mouth? Who operates your heart? Who is that functioning through your body mind complex? There's consciousness. God, Ishvara. Consciousness is God. Can you stop this question?
Guruji, we do everything with the complete awareness of God. How subtly this ego is coming up?
Wherever there's light, how ego comes. The nature is such that wherever there's light, there's always a shadow. Okay, there is no place where there's no shadow. When there is light, there is a shadow. Okay, now there's no problem with shadow. The shadow has no existence. Okay, so right now, don't have to try to remove ego. Become aware what is unreal. Become what is aware shadow. People don't have to try to remove ego because there's no ego to remove. It's a shadow, no reality. How does it come? Shadow comes where there is light. Light of self-awareness is there. Something will come. Shadow will appear. And shadow has no existence. You cannot remove ego because there's no ego. Shadow has no existence. You cannot remove a shadow anytime.
Right.
Hmm?
Yes.
Okay. Can you stop?